Now, this is also a development in the strategic sphere. It is also a development as a signal to the wider world, specifically two of our neighbors, China and Pakistan, that refuse to recognize a certain reality on the ground concerning the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Right now, of course, it's a union territory, but the fact of the matter is, viewers, that it is our territory integrated with India. And today, viewers, Naya Kashmir has etched its name in the G20 history books. As I'm speaking, over 60 delegates from all around the world are in Srinagar, a region which is referred to as paradise on earth and India's crown jewel. From star to diplomatic power, all lined up to endorse Rising Kashmir. India has put on a brilliant show, a very bold initiative taken by the nation, which reflects really the confidence that India has now, not just in itself, but viewers, in the Kashmiri people and their aspirations. This would not have been possible, trust me, 8 years, 10 years back in time, because we were always worried about what would come to pass. You might remember, viewers, President Clinton showed up in India in the year 2000, if I'm not mistaken, and an attack, a grievous attack of terror took place in Kashmir. And there have been other instances of visiting heads of state, and Kashmir has erupted. Today, viewers, leaders are coming and going, but Kashmir is wanting something. It is wanting the world's attention. And this is being driven by the people. I mean, look at these pictures. There's normalcy writ large, yet there are individuals, viewers, who refuse to acknowledge the transformation taking place in Kashmir. The usual suspects, and let's hear them. All those usual suspects who have been coming out and once again suggesting that, oh, this is just window dressing, the reality is different. Viewers, you know, they say you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Mehbooba Mufti should listen to this instead of parroting the agenda of those that are not well disposed to our country for a variety of reasons. First, listening to the malcontents, viewers.
They are trying to show that normalcy, everything is fine. I'm not opposing anything. Why should I oppose anything? But the way G20 is, it's an event for the whole country. But the BJP has hijacked it. They have even replaced the logo with lotus. The logo should have been something to do with the country, not with the party. Even houses have been taken over, homes have been taken over. There is 3, 4, 5 tier security. There are, check-ins going on. Everything in the homes is being turned upside down. Our problems are within the region. G20 may be something in which may be doing some kind of publicity for the BJP party at the national and the international level.
Viewers, does Mehbooba Mufti ever play back her sound bites to herself? It would help if she did, because you know what, viewers? Contradictions galore would fall out in front of her eyes. Now, she says that all sorts of freedoms are being repressed in her state. And there she is sitting, viewers, as half the world descends on the valley, attacking the government, the BJP in power. And she's free to do it, viewers. No one is stopping her. That's the beauty of our democracy. That doesn't happen in that basket case country called Pakistan. There, viewers, one prime minister questioned his government and he's under siege. हर रोज रोता है वो. कभी गोली लगती है टांग में, viewers. Sometimes he gets shot in the foot or in the leg, or he's arrested arbitrarily and the Supreme Court has to step in, or the Supreme Court itself is attacked, or the houses of the only thing that works in Pakistan, according to Pakistanis, is the army. Their houses are being burnt down, their big offices are being ransacked. Viewers, who are we trying to fool here? And I want to open this up. And I want to ask some basic questions. As usual, viewers, we have with us leader of the National Conference, Advocate Nilofer. Now, Advocate Saab, can I just ask you a very simple question? Where are you right now?
I'm in Baramulla.
In Baramulla. She is sitting in Kashmir. Now listen, viewers, I'm going to ask her a question and she will condemn the government, left, right and center. This is the power of our democracy. She's a Kashmiri, viewers. She's
Rahul,
supposed to
you're
be...
disclosing your mind.
1 second.
And I'm not going to do that.
No, Nilofer ji, 1 second. You see, I am told that Kashmiris are repressed, that they have been beaten down, they are under house arrest, they are not allowed to speak, all sorts of...
No doubt about that.
सब अनोनिया आप पे गुजर रही हैं. So now I want you to tell me your plight. और पूरा आप अपना जो spleen है vent कीजिए आज. I want India to hear the independent voice of Kashmir, viewers, amplified, given power by India's open democracy. This would not be heard in repressive regimes, viewers. But Miss Nilofer, please, you are free to abuse Shahzad Poonawala's party and their leaders. Ab aap boliye.
Rahul, there is no question of abusing, but what the fact is, that is to be seen in with the real this prison. In fact, what you are depicting there, maybe it is not my line which I am choosing to take.
Right.
It's really very appreciating step that G20 summit has taken place.
क्या बात है?
Is in fact on its way in our J&K. It's very
एक तो गायब ही हो गए. Hakim Ilahi has disappeared after you said this.
The first line.
First line आपकी सुन के उन्होंने अपना फोन ही बंद कर दिया.
I really appreciate that, and I know that maybe it is going to give boost to our culture, tradition, and the tourism at the same time. But the way it has been mishandled, it's something which is not appreciated and liked by every one of us. Because of the reason you have seen that schools have been put on off mode. We have seen that people have been stuck because of the reason G20 summit is going to be held. And on one way, you are saying that there is normalcy. That's why we are conducting this G20 summit in J&K. And if it is there, we already, I'm again saying that we are appreciating this step. But at the same time, why you are not restoring the democracy in the J&K? On one side, you are saying that there is normalcy and we are seeing Naya Kashmir. There is no doubt about that. You are saying it and you are accepting it. But at the same time, what is holding government
normalcy
of India
is being accepted on Times Now by Nilofer Advocate, viewers. The other gentleman who disappeared, as you know. But I just want to say one thing, Nilofer ji. You are talking about schools. Now, viewers, I'm also part Kashmiri. And I fear going back. Forget schools. Our homes were destroyed. So this Kashmiri no one will talk about. I also want to tell you viewers something, that when schools were being burnt down and when great so-called representatives, true representatives of the Kashmiri people were burning them down, you know what all these politicians were doing? They were interlocuting. No, 1 second. No, let me tell you about some contemporary.
Educational system.
Madam, please.
Nobody
I didn't interrupt you.
There. Nobody else was there. It was the mainstream.
Madam, I never interrupted
has been done
you.
by the Jammu Kashmir National Conference.
Madam,
you need to accept it.
Madam,
Today,
I
the
never.
Summit which is being held in SKCC.
Madam, you didn't listen to me.
Who has constructed it? Who has constructed it? Kindly.
Madam, I never interrupted you. I am not taking away the credit from you for building schools. You might have built schools in Jammu and Kashmir, but when they were being burnt down, when some rancid, paid dalals, viewers, called for the closure and boycott of schools, and when their agents, overground agents, burnt them down, a large number of these parties said, no, we must understand why this is happening. Let's engage with that lot of people. The Indian state they will abuse. They will say, oh, look what you're doing. You're shutting down schools for 3 days because, you want to create this festival of normalcy. But when those rascals, viewers, were burning down schools, when they were threatening children from not going to schools, there was a whole group of politicians that wanted to talk to those individuals to understand why they were threatening little children.
They too are the citizens of
They
India. You
do
need
are
to talk to them.
अरे
You
हम भी
need
तो
to talk
आपके
to them.
देश के ही हैं मैडम, हमसे कितनी
Reason
गुस्ताख
क्या है?
क्यों
They
हैं?
are choosing-
Anyhow,
they are
Shahzad
choosing
Punawala,
guns.
respond to her please.
You need to see that also. You need to
Advocate Nilofer,
understand.
if I may have a say, today it was not just RRR magic that was on full display, but in fact the entire yatra of Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, has taken place from PPP to DDD. PPP used to stand for Pakistan Parasti, Parivarwadi and Pattarbazi, and now it has been replaced by democracy, deepening of democracy, where three families used to have part. Today 30,000
no
elected
democracy.
officials are
There
there.
is no democracy.
Advocate Nilofer,
This is
please,
what I'm saying.
ma'am,
This is
I'm
what
giving
I'm
some
saying. There is
stats,
no
ma'am,
democracy.
ma'am, if you believe in democracy, at least let me have my say.
I
Or
do
at least
believe
let a
in-
Kashmiri
I do
Pandit
believe in
have his
democracy.
say.
That is what I'm saying.
Ma'am, please
There is
let a
no
Kashmiri
democracy at all.
Pandit or let
She
somebody
believes in
else also
guided
have a say.
democracy.
2018
Now-
you are waiting
In 1
for the
second, she
elections.
believes
That's
in
what
guided
I'm saying.
democracy.
but
She
let
will
me-
guide
let me
you.
put-
She will guide you.
No,
अब आप मैडम
nudge
2
democracy
minute
and
तो
guided
please.
democracy is
Nilofer ji,
well
please.
past its date. Now please let me complete my point and then you can come in. Three families used to have political power. Today 30,000 elected representatives including DDC elections which you boycotted.
Again,
1 second madam, please ma'am. You can't keep interrupting me at every statement.
Nilofer ji,
It's just bad manners.
Nilofer ji, please don't do this because
Please.
then I will have to lower your fader and then you will say मेरे को तो बोलने नहीं दिया हिंदुस्तान में.
That's right. Now, anyway, she is speaking
It's my
because she's in
country also.
Hindustan. Now, anyways,
Rahul, it's my country also.
Nilofer.
पता नहीं मैडम.
No, okay, if it is her country, 1 second. Now that you've said it, Nilofer ji, is Afzal Guru a convicted terrorist? Do you believe that he's a terrorist who should have gone to the gallows?
Come on, you are not sitting there to give us the certificate whether
That's
we
right.
are nationalists.
Now, can I
or
please
not.
make
You're
my
not
point
sitting
because
there.
I've evidently
You're not
disclosed
sitting there.
how
And
much
I'm
you
not going to
consider
take
yourself to be
certificate from you,
Indian.
whether I'm
You
Indian
just
or
gave us
not.
a speech and spiel about how you're committed to this country, and Afzal Guru, a convicted terrorist
I'm
who attacked
committed. I don't
Parliament,
need to
who
give any
attacked
certificate
Parliament,
to
you
anybody to
refused to
prove my nationality.
call him a terrorist.
I
अच्छा
don't
चलिए
need
छोड़
that.
दीजिए
I
उसको.
don't need that.
उसको छोड़ दीजिए Nilofer ji.
How much
You know, on
patriotic
that
I am, I
point,
know.
I just want to point
Yeah.
out something that at that point, viewers, the Congress was in power.
Yeah.
And they were so scared of the reaction in the Kashmir Valley
Yeah.
when their own ally was ruling that state that particular
Let us come to
execution
the
took
point,
place
Rahul. Let us come
at
to the
5 in the
point.
morning.
Yeah.
And the body, viewers,
Was not given.
was not given.
Yeah.
So this is how these people come and they say one thing in their state and they say one thing where they are and they say something quite different on national TV, viewers. This is the problem.
Now, if I may
Yes.
just very quickly, and Nilofer ji, I request you to at least hear me out for 30 seconds before you interrupt me. Secondly, first I spoke about democracy deepening. Secondly, development. In 70 years, 15,000 crores received as investment. Now 50,000 crores. From terror hotspot to tourism hotspot, highest number of tourists coming there. In fact, even the movie theatres have opened after 30 years so that Nilofer ji can go and watch a good Hindi film there. And apart from that, when you come last to dismantling of terror, the third D, where 90% of stone pelting is down, 50% of terror attacks is down, and therefore today it is not special status for three parivar, it is special status for the awam, and that is why today this G20 movement in Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, is actually a confirmation of what has changed after the demolition of the wall of Article 370. Nilofer ji, finally I'll just ask you one question. If you do stand with India, wasn't Yasin Malik a terrorist who has been convicted?
Punewala, kindly don't divert the topic which has been in fact chosen by Rahul.
You know who
Shivshankar
Yasin
today.
Malik killed?
You're not talking about the democracy.
Air Force
what do you mean by
officers.
democracy? Come on, tell me.
Yasin Malik killed Air Force
understand
Okay,
what is
I think
democracy.
Mr. Ilahi is now
Let's
back.
define democracy.
Hakim-
what do you mean by democracy?
Hakim Ilahi,
Bro,
let
right
me-
from 2018.
Ma'am,
Nilofer
Democracy-
speaking and abusing India despite getting the platform and
Elections are being
services from
held in
India is
rest of India,
democracy.
but not in Jet
This is
Set.
democracy. Times
I'm
now
not
show is
talking about the
democracy.
democracy.
Okay,
Which democracy you're
Mr.
talking
Ilahi, how do you respond to what Shehzad Poonawalla is saying? And I want to ask you, sir, why is it today that when India is showcasing the transformation, there are some people who are scoffing at this exercise, calling it window dressing, Mr. Ilahi?
First of all, let me tell you, Kashmiris have been known for their hospitality, for their warm hearts, for their love and affection.
Right.
And we welcome all the delegates.
Then why are Kashmiri Hindus hunted down, and why did they have to leave the valley, sir?
You need to ask this to the. You need to ask these questions to Narendra Modi and.
He wasn't there
Party.
when Kashmiri Hindus in
No, let me
1990
tell you.
were forced out, and before that were
Okay,
being
let
killed
me- let me-
single-handed.
let me
No,
answer
I don't have to ask. I have to ask you. I have to ask you who opposed the Kashmir files and movies that captured The hate
Yeah,
that
why
was
should we
directed
oppose such
at,
propaganda
no, one
movies?
second,
Why should
that
we
was
oppose
directed
such
at all these
propaganda
people.
movies?
If that was true, if you were so welcoming, why, sir, under Article 370 were individuals, and I'm asking you this, from some of the lower stratas of our society designated in the most derogatory terms and not given jobs which were of a certain standing and stature. Tell me, Mr. Ilahi, आप यहाँ पाठ मत पढ़ाइए हमें.
Mr. Rahul, you have never been to Kashmir, first of all.
Oh, really?
And you are supporting and promoting.
Sir, I was...
No, you have not lived here. You might have come hundreds of times, but you have not lived here. We are the ones who are getting bullets in their hearts and heads every day.
Maybe I wouldn't have been alive. Maybe I wouldn't have been alive, sir. Don't sit and give us lectures. Maybe I wouldn't have been alive. Maybe I wouldn't have been alive.
Why can't you hear me out? Why can't you hear me out? I am saying we are supporting, we are welcoming G20 delegates, but I don't understand the things that they are boasting about. That Kashmir has become a developed state now. But I don't believe in this kind of cosmetic development. There are no schools, no education.
My dear friend, for 70 years, Kashmiri parties ruled Kashmir. And what they gave us, what they gave us was, one second, what they gave us was a broken education system, viewers, where children were out in the streets pelting stones. And when their own children were studying abroad. That is what they gave us. Don't sit here, sir, blame your own leaders. Ask for accountability from the Omar Abdullahs and from the entire clan of the Muftis. Ask them what they did for 70 years. Then you come and ask questions. I leave it at this, viewers. I leave it at this. There is no way that we are going to have, and let me tell you this, consensus, because these people make a living, viewers, out of sitting on news channels and going to seminars, trying to speak the language that their promoters want to hear. That's the basic problem. You divorce the politics and you bring the people into the center of things, and you see these pictures. This is Kashmir. This is the real Kashmir. Not the Kashmir of the political class, viewers. I leave it at this. The news are coming up with Navika Kumar.